Hi, my name is Kasim. I built 6 multi-million-dollar businesses. I've had 2 successful exits, one for 8 figures. I've generated a $10,000,000 net worth, and my goal in life is to help you achieve 3x freedom. One of the questions I get most often, especially from newbies, is what business should I start? Where should I go? Where do I begin? And my advice is going to shock and repel you. I don't believe in chasing shiny objects. As a matter of fact, I don't think that business success has anything to do with the idea. I think most people that are chasing the next big idea, they don't realize it. They don't want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be inventors. So if you're looking to create the next big app, the next big software, the next big thing, the next big widget, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not thinking in an entrepreneurial fashion. You're thinking in a creative invention fashion, which is awesome. If I've just clarified that for you and you thought to yourself like, oh gosh, I'm not an entrepreneur at all. I'm an inventor. Great. Go do that. God bless. The entrepreneurial endeavor is about iterative improvement over time. That's what you want to learn. Iterative improvement over time. Here's what that really means. The business that you start, the idea that you start with doesn't matter because the entire framework of iterative improvement over time presupposes you're going to fail in the beginning. So you want to start something that allows you to fail in efficient and effective ways that mitigates your downside risk. So the best business for a newbie to get into, I think, is window washing. I think you should go to Home Depot. You should get a bucket, a squeegee, a bottle of soap, and whatever else it is that you might need to wash windows. And you should literally start pounding the pavement, walking door to door, go to the very first office or medical complex near you and ask people to wash windows for whatever it is that they're willing to pay. Here's why. This is what I'm getting at. When you start a business like this, it teaches you everything that you need to know about every core category of business. So it's going to teach you about things like cost of goods, marketing, sales, customer service, support, pricing, merchant processing, returns, fulfillment. As you grow, potentially onboarding employees, management, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Are you going to get rich washing windows? No, you're not. Guess what? You're not going to get rich at any other business that you try the first time either. All of those businesses are going to fail, statistically speaking. Every entrepreneur's first, second, third, and 50th business fail. So choose a business that allows you to fail in the confines of a safe environment, but allows you to learn as well. And what I really love about a business like window washing is it's tactile. You're connecting with what it is that you're doing from a proficiency perspective. You're connecting directly with your customers. It forces you out of your comfort zone. It teaches you things like effective communication, making an offer, negotiating, and just the nuts and bolts of business. When you finally get a customer on the hook, you think to yourself like, well, gosh, how do I send this person an invoice and how do I get paid? And you start to realize, man, every individual customer I earn is really hard. What's going to be way better for me is if I can get people to commit to some level of recurring service. So I could come to your office every month and wash windows. And now, instead of selling one person one time and getting paid once, I sell one person one time and I get paid multiple times. And then you can get really smart and think to yourself, you know, I just told that guy to wash his windows for $50. I bet you if I found somebody to do it for 25, that I could be even more efficient and figure out the sales end of things, or I'm going to outsource my sales and figure out the fulfillment end of things. The point I'm trying to make is start small, start simple, start in a safe environment that allows you to just test the entrepreneurial waters. And then once you've done that, once you've established some level of proof of concept, get good at iterative improvement over time. And I really believe that you could step into any industry and you could dominate that industry if you're willing to be better than everybody else at that industry. I've gone through 4 or 5 pool cleaners. The people that come to clean my pool are always horrible. And they all charge the same amount of money, incidentally. They all charge $120 to $150 a month. And it's always some kid that doesn't want to be there and is melting his face off. Poor guy, because I live in Phoenix, Arizona. And they do a terrible job. And half of the time my pool's not clean, and half the time there's algae or there's some green tinge that doesn't even allow us to use it. And then we have to shock the pool, and then I have to fire the pool guy, and then I have to get a new pool guy. And then I'm just on rinse and repeat about every 18 months. If somebody came to me and charged me double, but they were extraordinary, not only would I jump right on that, but I would refer everybody in my neighborhood and everybody that I've ever known. There is room at the top because everybody's fighting to be at the bottom. They're all trying to be average. I built the #1 ranked Google Ads agency in the world, and I started way after Google Ads was massively saturated as a market. As a matter of fact, people made fun of me. They're like, dude, every other email I get is somebody from India offering to do my Google Ads for almost free. Like, don't do that. Go get into a different industry. But we were willing to be better, and we offered iterative improvement over time. And slowly but surely, brick by brick, we built the best Google Ads agency that exists. I'm doing it now in staffing, and we're doing it in tech support. There's not an industry that you can't dominate if you're willing to be better than everybody else is willing to be. But first, you have to learn the meta skill that is iterative improvement over time. It's not the skill. Don't learn Google Ads. Don't learn window washing. Don't learn videography. Learn the meta skill that is iterative improvement over time. Once you've deployed any business model, now look at that model and think to yourself, starting from the beginning. And the beginning, by the way, is the customer journey, right? It's the experience that the customer has from start to finish. How do I make that better? How do I make that more efficient for both you and the customer? How do I make this better and more efficient? How do I make this better and more efficient? How do I make this better and more efficient? Iterative improvement over time. And iterative improvement, incidentally, generally comes not from inspiration, looking at the customer journey journey and think like, oh, this could be better and this could be better and this could be better. It comes from failure. Very often from miserable, horrible, horrendous, painful, difficult failure. And you think like, gosh, I never want that to happen again. I'm going to improve it in this way. So get out onto the field. If you're a young entrepreneur and you don't know what business to start, go start a window washing business. Incidentally, stay away from digital. And I might be the only human on the planet that's saying that. Every guru, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to sell you some AI course where you can become a prompt engineer and make $1 billion over the weekend. If that were true, they would do it. The businesses, the industries, the economic world that I think survives whatever this apocalypse ends up being is tangible. It's local services, it's community, it's people. It's the things that AI cannot do. So if you want to start a business, don't go look at what AI can do. If you really think about that from a philosophical perspective, if AI can do it, why would I pay you to do it? If AI can do it, it's not that it's not valuable. It means that it's ubiquitous. There's no margin to it. So is it valuable as an endeavor? Sure, maybe. Is it profitable? No, obviously not. All of these little tools that people feel like they can veil, it's only a matter of time until those veils drop. So I think the AI arbitrage game is a very, very, very dangerous game to play, especially if you're new to business. What I'd recommend is go the exact opposite way. Find all the things that AI cannot do, start there, and then get really good at iterative improvement. Now, imagine for a moment that you got into the window washing business and you actually started to build that business. And then because you're young and intelligent and hungry and tech savvy, you started to look at, wow, AI contribution to this business, which is wildly analog. I can use AI in order to identify when I should be purchasing all of my products in a way that allows me to cut my cost of goods by 20 to 50%. And I can use AI for my marketing, my awareness building. And I can use AI for my customer intake. And I can use AI for my customer service. And I can use AI for insert everywhere you can use AI. And now suddenly you have the most efficient window washing business in your region. And now guess what? Now you can scale that, right? You start expanding to different neighborhoods in different cities in different states, and then you grow and now you're the biggest window washing franchise. I'm not exaggerating or being hyperbolic. This is the model. This is what you do. Go find the simplest, easiest to enter business. I like window washing because the cost of goods are $100. You can get into window washing for $100 and everybody has dirty windows. I have yet to be a city in the country or in the world that doesn't have somebody with dirty windows, right? So you want to go to where the market is. I'll never start a business if I don't know where the traffic is coming from. You already know where the traffic is. People have dirty windows. People want clean windows. You've got a bucket and a mop and a squeegee and some soap. Congratulations, you're in business. Start the easiest, most accessible business in front of you. If you don't want to do window washing, do landscaping. If you don't want to do landscaping, do something that feels menial. Do something that feels beneath you, because that's another, again, meta-analysis here is the fact that you're not just doing iterative improvement over time, but you're also subjugating yourself to the work that you don't feel is worth your time, which means when compared to all of your peers, you're weaponized. Because I can tell you as an employer, when most, I say kids, because I'm 40 years old, when most kids come through my office, they're not willing to take out the trash. They're not willing to do the hard work. They're not willing to pound the pavement. They're not willing to cold call. Why? Because they have some, way too expensive college degree, a bunch of background. They've watched all these YouTube videos and this expectation that they're going to step into a corner office and a title that means something and be able to start making money right out of the gate. And they're wrong. They're wrong. So from an entrepreneurial perspective, go do something menial. Do something that embarrasses you. Learn iterative improvement over time. And then watch. Stay consistent at that. Watch 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. I think it'll blow you away. It'll help you avoid what's coming, which is the biggest labor collapse in human history. If you want to avoid that and you want to pursue something entrepreneurial, go start a window washing business. Challenge me in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'll see you in the next one.